Okay, so now you've got that. Your cash flow is under control. You're not bleeding out. Way to go. Now let's talk about the other way that you're bleeding, and that is customer churn. Because here's what I see all the time: founders obsessing over getting new customers, while 40 to 60% are walking out the back door, often in the first 90 days. And this is the insight that I got from episode 301 with Sri Ganesan, and it completely reframes how you think about onboarding. Most founders treat onboarding as a customer success problem, and it's not. It is your highest leverage revenue optimization. Here's the data. Customers who reach their first value milestone, that aha moment within 7 days, have 3 to 5 times higher lifetime value and 70% lower churn than those who take 30 plus days. I mean, think about that math. If you're acquiring 50 new customers per quarter at, we'll say, $50,000 ACV with 40% 1 year churn, and you fix onboarding to cut that churn in half, drop it to 20%, you just saved $500,000 in revenue in the first year alone. And we can cut it way faster than that as well, way lower than just half. 20% is still crazy churn. And we can get it down in the single digits. But that's 500K. Think about that. That is more than most marketing programs will ever generate. And you didn't spend an extra dollar on acquisition to get it. Sri's framework breaks onboarding into 3 conversion points: activation, which is the time to first value; adoption, which is expansion to multiple use cases and multiple users; and then advocacy. And that's turning users into champions who drive expansion and referrals. The tactical work is identifying your specific activation events per buyer persona, your ICP. What's the aha moment for your economic buyer versus your end user? Because a lot of times those are different. 2 different people. One person buys, makes that decision, and another is actually using it day to day. So we need to have wins in both of those categories. And then what we want to do is to build automated sequences that guide each persona to those moments as fast as possible. And here's the sneaky part. Great onboarding isn't just about retention. It's about expansion. Here's the thing: you build expansion hooks right into the onboarding journey. Natural moments where users see the value of upgrading or adding seats or adding features, or going, hey, you've got this. Now, what about this other thing over here? Because they see value in it, because they're using it. They're getting value. They're having those aha moments. And then you have these expansion hooks that are built into your process. A 20% improvement in onboarding completion can increase your net revenue retention 15 to 25 percentage points. And the cool part is that compounds every single year. I think net revenue retention is one of the most important SaaS metrics. And we're seeing a lot of that in the investment world, of them really looking at that heavily. Especially as sales cycles kind of extend out and slow, but net revenue retention, that's a big deal. So we want that to be higher. I mean, we're talking some pretty significant bumps in that if you can build in those aha moments. So what are we going to do to do that? Well, your action, I'm giving you an onboarding revenue assessment and implementation template. Has activation event worksheets, sequence builders, expansion hooks, health dashboard. We've actually built all of this for our clients into a GPT. So they put in their information, it actually builds it for them, which is pretty freaking cool. But what I've done is I've pulled this out, an onboarding revenue assessment, and I will include that in the assets for you. All right, now you're not running out of cash. You're not hemorrhaging customers.